So I, 23-filled M, recently moved into a new apartment, and everything has been fine except for one thing: my neighbor. From day one, she has been overly friendly. At first, I didn't think much of it. She introduced herself, brought over cookies, the usual neighbor stuff. But then it started getting weird. She would knock on my door almost every day, sometimes just to chat, sometimes to ask random questions like if I had seen her cat, which she doesn't actually own. Then one day I came home from work and my doormat was gone. I didn't think much of it until the next day when I saw the exact same doormat outside her door. So I knocked and asked her about it, and she just smiled and said, "Oh yeah, I thought it looked better here." I told her it was mine, and she said, "Well, you never said you were using it." After that, I started locking my door more carefully. But here's where it gets worse. A few days later, I woke up at 2 a.m. to the sound of my door handle moving, like someone was trying to open it. I froze, didn't make a sound, and just listened. After about 30 seconds, it stopped. The next morning, I checked my door, and there were scratch marks around the lock. I installed a camera that same day, and that night, I got a notification. It was her, standing outside my door, just staring at it for 5 full minutes, not moving. The next morning, I reported it to the landlord, and apparently I'm not the first person to complain about her. So now I'm looking for a new apartment. Nope, I'm out. The moment you said she took your doormat and said you weren't using it, that was already a red flag. But trying the door at 2 a.m., that's not friendly neighbor, that's the start of a horror movie. And the fact she just stood there staring at the door for 5 minutes? Like, what was the plan? Also, the landlord saying, "Yeah, you're not the first one," is crazy. So you just kept renting to her? I would have been gone immediately, like I'm packing my stuff the next morning. All right, let's move on because that one actually stressed me out. Am I wrong for refusing to switch airplane seats with a family? So I, 28-filled F, booked a window seat months in advance for a long flight, about 10 hours. I specifically chose this seat because I get anxious on planes and like being able to look outside and lean against the wall. When I got on the plane, a family was already sitting in my row. A mom, a dad, and their kid. The mom asked if I would switch seats with her so she could sit next to her child. I checked, and the seat she was offering was a middle seat several rows back. I politely said no and explained that I had booked this seat ahead of time. She got upset and said I was being selfish and that her child needed her. I pointed out that the dad was already sitting next to the child. She said that didn't matter and that as a woman, I should understand. At this point, other passengers were starting to look, and I felt really uncomfortable. A flight attendant came over, and the mom immediately said I was refusing to help her and ruining their flight. The flight attendant asked if I would consider switching, and I said again that I preferred to keep the seat I paid for. Eventually, the flight attendant told the family they needed to sit in their assigned seats. The rest of the flight was awkward, and the mom kept giving me dirty looks. Now I feel kind of bad, but also, I booked this seat for a reason. Okay, this one? Absolutely not wrong. Like, I don't understand this expectation that if you plan poorly, it becomes someone else's emergency. You had months to book seats together. And also, why is it always a middle seat? It's never like, "Hey, do you want my better seat?" It's always a downgrade. And the "as a woman you should understand" line? What does that even mean? Also, the dad was already sitting next to the kid, so what was the actual issue? This just feels like guilt tripping. I'm 100% keeping my window seat, especially on a 10-hour flight. No discussion. If you want more of these, I swear Reddit has unlimited chaos. Like, every story is either mildly awkward or completely unhinged. Let me know and I'll read even worse ones next time.